Okay, guys, I don't know how I missed this earlier. This article, this tweet is from about 14 hours ago, and they released this at 5:53 in the morning, so maybe it just didn't trend. It's only gotten 22,000 views on Twitter, but I just came across it. I wasn't even going to make a video tonight because I am getting the flu, my body's hurting. I know that I'm going to be sick within like 24 hours here. But this is something that I think we need to talk about. So this is from the Games Industry Biz Twitter account, and it says, if you don't intentionally include, you will unintentionally exclude. And it's an article from Xbox where they are launching a new resource to help developers add inclusion into their games. And if you click the link here to the article, this is a long one, guys. I apologize. We're gonna kind of highlight the most important pieces, but she is very long-winded, this woman. So the article says, Xbox launches new resource to help developers add inclusion into their games. And this is from the Game Developers Conference. The quote here, it says, if you don't intentionally include, you will unintentionally exclude. And remember how the game developer, or the lead developer, CEO of the Helldivers developing team, said basically a game for everybody is a game for nobody. Xbox is taking the opposite approach. They want to make games for everybody, and it's going to end up being for no one. So the article says, Xbox has launched the Gaming for Everyone Product Inclusion Framework, a series of resources and information on how to make games more inclusive. It was announced during a talk at GDC 2024 in San Francisco and covers 4 key areas of globalization, accessibility, representation, and approachability. The framework was first launched internally in 2019, and now Microsoft is making it available for other studios here. So that's the big deal, is the fact that this is now something that's no longer staying internal at Xbox. They are making this accessible to developers outside, and that's this whole program here, and we'll get into this in a second. The project is led by the firm's Gaming for Everyone team, which started in 2015 in order to bring gaming to everybody on the planet. What we found in the early days of Gaming for Everyone is that people, even internally, got inspired by the idea, Katie Jo Wright, Xbox's head of Gaming for Everyone and Sustainability, tells Games Industry Biz. So it's, again, somebody who's never played a video game in her life, I can guarantee you that. And we saw teams who went on and did things that brought it to life, like the Xbox Adaptive Controller, but we wanted to see it consistently across the organization. So my team went on to this listening tour inside Xbox to understand what was going on and how people were making it real. This is how we discovered people were inspired by Gaming for Everyone, but they didn't know how to translate that into their own day-to-day. It was, if I'm not a decision maker determining what hardware we build, how do I make it real? And we were like, because our message was around how it is up to each of us to make decisions every day to bring this intentionality to include. It was doing that learning that set us onto another journey to create what is now the Product Inclusion Framework. And the article goes on to say, the framework goes public at a time where a small subset, we're a small subset, guys, of gamers have been pushing against diversity efforts in games. Are there certain concerns that perhaps some developers might become wary of introducing some of the ideas put forward in the framework? Wright doesn't think so. We started doing this because as developers, we want to get our games played by as many people as possible. It's all about expanding reach, she explains. When you talk to a developer, do you want to limit how many people play your game? No, that's how we think about it. Then each developer gets to make the decision for themselves over who they want to expand their player reach to. So here's the problem. I'm going to pause on this long-winded article here. The issue is when you try making games that appeal to everybody, it appeals to a small group of nobodies. And unlike games that have mass appeal because they don't hyperpolarize and get political and get to where it's too specific about, well, you have to identify with this character in order to enjoy the game, these people are really trying to double down on the whole diversity inclusion crap rather than just saying, okay, well, we'll make niche games for small groups of people, but we need broad appeal for the mass majority of the AAA games, the big name titles. She says the framework is not a checklist. It's not a mandate. Not a mandate, apparently. Even internally, it's not that at all. It's just a way for you to get your game into the hands of more players in a meaningful way. She used the notion of doorways and how, for some people, the doorway to gaming is closed. The framework shares guidance and ideas on how to open these doorways, but that does not mean that every game should be looking to open every doorway. So, one thing you got to remember when she's saying this rhetoric, this BS about how it's not a mandate, it's not enforced. Xbox Game Studios partnered with Sweet Baby Inc., as well as many of the other big, developing studios and publishers and stuff. Xbox Game Studios is right there at the top of the list. and everything that they do under that umbrella is going to have this forced agenda in there. She adds, it is about intentional decisions. Do we want to open this door or leave it closed? Or do we want to lock this door? Sometimes it is the right thing to lock the door. For example, with age gating. Not every 4-year-old should be able to play every game, but there are many doors along the gaming journey, and they are there whether we are making an intentional decision or not, and many times they are closed by default. In every game, it is a matter of, do we want to open the door? God, this is probably the most boring person to ever have lunch with, I swear. This framework can apply to every single game, but it is up to each developer to decide whether it is the right thing for the experience they're making, blah, blah, blah. It can apply to every game. This is just a lot of the same rhetoric over and over and over again, but basically, she says here, the article goes on to say, that she shared a stat from a survey where 71% of players say that diversity in stories and characters is either very or extremely important to them. So you know who they went to? They went to the consulting firms and asked them about what people felt about the inclusion of diversity in stories. And that's where they got that stat from. They didn't ask players. They didn't ask gamers. They didn't go and say, hey, do you care about diversity? No, man, I just want a good game. Oh my gosh. Other examples of representation include the body type options in Sea of Thieves or the mental health portrayal in Hellblade. No, Hellblade was just a great game. Hellblade was just great. I didn't... Do you think somebody with schizophrenia or who's hearing voices is going to say, yes, I see myself in a game now because I'm battling these voices in my head that I can't get rid of, I now want to turn around and play a game because of that? No, a person who's dealing with voices in their head doesn't want to play Hellblade. These people are morons. Okay, let's move on from the article because there's still more in here, but it's just going to make me mad. Product inclusion. Welcome to Gaming for Everyone's Product Inclusion Resource Hub. At Xbox, our mission is to bring the joy and community of gaming to the billions of gamers on the planet. To do that, we're on a journey to make product inclusion an intentional part of Team Xbox. In 2019, we realized the need to create common language and understanding around this work. So we invented the product inclusion framework to focus on 4 key areas, which we will call inclusive growth doorways. If you want to learn how you can enjoy on this journey, watch our video to learn more and explore the resources below. So unfortunately, I don't want to go on too much longer. They have the toolkit. You can actually download the toolkit right here, and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to look through it. And if there's something there, we'll make another video on it. We'll talk about it. Maybe I'll do a live stream if I'm feeling up to it, maybe tomorrow night. I don't know. But this is mind-blowing that at this point, Xbox Game Studios can look at all the pushback from all the gamers, all the people across the world uniting and saying enough is enough, and somehow still think it's a small subset of people who don't matter, and they're just going to keep hammering this crap home like it's not going to have an effect on sales, on general favor. Look what happened today with the editor-in-chief of Kotaku quitting Kotaku. People have been celebrating on Twitter because we're sick and tired of this. People have had enough. We're fed up. It's like if you don't think the culture has shifted, then you are really not paying attention. Anyways, guys, I'm out. This is mind-blowing that these people are this out of touch. I will catch you on the next one. And if you made it this far, thank you for watching the video. We do have 2 channels, one for daily uploads, the other one for more of my live streams and hot takes. Links to both are down below, as well as the ability to join as a channel member for as little as $3 a month, and that'll greatly help us out. Much appreciated. We also have links to our Etsy accounts down below, as well as our website. We also have Locals and Subscribestar. If you didn't want to support us on YouTube, you can support us through those. Thanks again for being here, and we will see you on the next one.